Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're here visiting, welcome. My name is Annemarie. I hope you get some benefit from today's topic. And this channel is all about spirituality, spiritual growth, spiritual upliftment, meditation. So if you do get benefit, please remember to like, share and subscribe, because it does help build the channel and it does get this information out to those who might really be needing it. So today I wanted to talk with you about just keep going. Now, what does that mean, just keep going? Sounds easy enough, doesn't it? For me, it's about never quitting. No matter how difficult the path will be some days, it's really important to understand my own purpose. And I'm going to do another whole video on that on its own about purpose, so keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on this space. But just briefly, for me, really understanding what my own purpose is in my day, just simply to get that spark in my belly, to get up every morning, in my week, in my life. Because you see, if I'm not clear on my own purpose, it's very difficult to come together with others and work out a collective purpose, because everyone will be pulling in different directions and conflict occurs. And when that conflict occurs, it's very easy then to lose myself in that conflict, and I allow myself or others to sabotage my path. So if I'm really clear on my purpose, I will stay steadfast with love and compassion, as opposed to force and control. But that takes practice. Okay, and like I said, I'll do another whole video just on purpose. But today I just wanted to briefly touch on that, because it is really important in order for you to keep going in whatever direction, whatever area you're looking at. And for me, it's always about spirituality, because really understanding myself as a soul, as a spiritual being playing these amazing roles in my life, is what keeps me going. And even when times are tough, just because I practice spirituality doesn't mean I don't get challenged. And when I get challenged, if I don't have the practice of and the discipline, there's that word discipline, no one likes that word discipline, especially me, but I know the importance of discipline. I know the importance of taking one step and taking another step, and okay, I might fall down, I pick myself up, take another step, might fall down again, pick myself up, brush myself off, take a breath, take another step, and keep going, keep going. I might have to tweak my path along the way, but I'm going to keep going. That's what allows me to keep going. If I don't give myself the discipline and the practical steps to keep going, one baby step after another, no matter how many times I fall down, it's not a matter of, oh, this is too hard, I give up, or I'm just going to go back to my old ways, or I'm going to turn back on my path. Okay, when you've done such big steps and such amazing steps, why would you want to sabotage that? So again, which is why it's so important to really understand my purpose in whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm undertaking, whether it's a daily task or whether it's a life task. And for me, spirituality, it's a lifestyle. Okay, it's a lifestyle, because I couldn't live any other way now. And so discipline is part of that. Whether I like it or not, I have to simply pick myself up and keep going. I can make excuses, I can blame the weather, I can blame others, I can blame not having enough money or not having good health, but ultimately I have to keep going if I'm wanting to head in a certain direction. And like I said, for me, it's my own spiritual development, my own spiritual growth. And if you're on the same path of wanting to really be clear spiritually, then you need to really understand the discipline that goes hand in hand with it. There's no way around it. We can only wing it in life for so long before we finally get found out. And if we haven't put in the hard yards, then our dreams, our goals, our purpose, our aim will come crumbling down. Not only will I probably sabotage it myself, but I will allow others to sabotage it. So no matter how difficult the path, no matter how many times others might try and block you or sabotage you or oppose you or resist you, if this is true and you're not hurting anyone, but in fact you're actually doing this for the higher good of everyone, not just because I'm telling myself that, but because I know this is spiritually going to help everyone, not just myself. And so with spirituality, you can lie, but you get found out a lot quicker. So for me, honesty is very, very much part of that discipline. And not being in any denial about my weaknesses, and owning my own strengths. So that gives me that purpose, and that gives me that forward momentum and that motivation and that enthusiasm to keep going, because I know that even with my weaknesses, because I've put that discipline in place, and because I'm being honest with myself, my weaknesses are not going to hold me back. Okay, my weaknesses are going to get strengthened along the way, because I'm going to keep tweaking them, keep strengthening them. Just like a muscle, you need to, in order to strengthen it, you need to exercise it. It's not just going to strengthen on its own. You know the old saying, use it or lose it. And spiritually, mentally, in the mind, it's no different. If I don't exercise my mind daily, I'm going to quit the first obstacle that's going to block my way. Okay, we can't, sometimes we just have to, so then what we end up doing when we see this big boulder all of a sudden in the middle of the road, we start focusing on the boulder, and we try and then chip away at the boulder, rather than going, okay, I have to learn to take a high jump and get over that boulder. I've just got to get over it. Okay? And sometimes we just don't know how far we've come. And that's another key to why we need to keep going. I remember years ago when we were nomads living on the road, and we were offering lots of spiritual programs around Australia, and we were going on this hike up on this very steep mountain path. And I remember we were getting quite exhausted, and we were both like, oh my gosh, how much further? And we, come on, we'll just have a rest and keep going. And then we came across this couple who were sitting on this rock, and they looked absolutely defeated because the last part was really quite steep. And they said they just couldn't do it. Anyway, they sort of made the joke, and they go, if it's not that far further and you make it, just call out. And literally it was maybe 5 minutes. It wasn't very far. We made it to the top, and the view was absolutely breathtaking. And I remember calling out, and I remember going, coo-wee! And they heard us, so they came up. But they were ready to turn back. They had walked all this way up, and it was quite a steep mountain, and they almost turned back. And they heard me, so we weren't that far because it wasn't a very loud coo-wee. And they came up and they said, I'm so glad that we kept going. I'm so glad we heard you, because it made us realize just how close we were. But imagine if they had turned back and then they found out, if they had gone another 5 minutes. Imagine the disappointment. Sorry, my video keeps going off. I'm not sure why. But imagine what happens. And this is what we do in life. Sometimes we get so close, we don't recognize all the work that we've already done, and we go, this is just too hard. That's not to say, yes, sometimes in life, when something keeps telling us, no, this is the wrong path, we need to listen to that as well. But I'm not talking about that. That's another topic on its own. I'm talking about when we know we need to keep going and we just haven't put that discipline in, we haven't put that energy towards it, because that's the other thing. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on your goal, on your aim, and the steps that you need to take? Or are you focusing on, oh, the hard work? This is too hard. This is too hard. I can't do it. I want to, but I can't. I want to, but I can't. It's just too hard. What are you telling yourself? Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Okay, spiritually, we need to remind ourselves how powerful and how amazing we truly are. Because you know what? As spiritual beings, we are able to manifest whatever we choose. But we need to believe it, and we need to prove it to ourselves by just keep going. Okay, so this is just a very short video. I hope you got some benefit from that today. So let's just finish off with the meditation. And today we're going to do a bit of a visualization. So just starting off with a couple of gentle, even breaths. Deep down into your belly. As usual, allow your mind to become calm. And allow your body to relax. Any thoughts that come to disturb your little bit of peace, just let them come and let them go. And each time bring yourself back to the silent space between the thoughts. So giving yourself permission now to turn inward into your mind. I want you to imagine that you're taking a hike up a steep mountain. Just like spiritual practice, you need to travel light to not make the journey too cumbersome, to not make the journey too difficult for yourself. So see yourself packing only the essentials: water, some light foods. You don't want heavy foods that weigh you down. Just like spiritually, you need to keep your thoughts light in order to reach your destination. So go about and pack your little backpack. You can see it as a physical backpack, you can see it as a spiritual backpack. But only pack the essentials, the right thoughts, the right food for nourishment for body, mind, and soul. Perhaps a compass, maybe a phone or a radio. So spiritually, you know you've already packed them because you are light in your mind and your connection with the divine is strong. Because you've taken the daily steps, the discipline to master that art of connecting. And then see yourself putting on that backpack and starting up that track. Like any journey, it starts off easy and you feel light and motivated and positive, maybe even a little bit excited. And you tell yourself, this is a piece of cake. I got this. But as in life, as in trekking up the mountain, as in spiritual development and growth, that track starts getting steeper, becomes more rocky, and the rocks are loose underfoot. And you start having to pay more attention as you become a little tired. You start forgetting those positive thoughts, those initial, I got this. And you now start focusing on how difficult the track is becoming. And the more difficult the track becomes, the more involved you become with the difficulty as opposed to the joy of the beauty of your surroundings. Because the higher you climb, the better the view. But now you've forgotten about that view. And you're just focusing on the difficulty. So instead of keep going at this point or feeling like I can't go any further and wanting to stop or even go back, give yourself a permission to take a break. Put down that backpack. Put down those heavy thoughts. That heavy inner dialogue that you might be already engaged in. Just put it down for a moment and allow yourself to breathe. Maybe take a sip of water. Maybe have something light to eat to replenish the body and to clear the mind. Allow yourself to take a few breaths and just take in the beautiful view and realize just how far you have actually come. And just enjoy it. Just be there. It's not about the destiny, it's about the journey. And that enjoying the journey allows you to automatically reach your destination with that initial motivation and intoxication that you started with in the first place. Your purpose was to reach the top of that mountain, be it a physical mountain, be it an emotional mountain, be it a spiritual mountain. It's your mountain that you need to climb. It's your mountain that you need to finish. It's your mountain that you have a right to enjoy, because you've put in the steps, you've done the work, which allows you to keep going. So now that you're refreshed, just gently put that backpack on again and realize it's not as heavy as you thought 5 minutes ago. because you've got a second bout of energy now, because you've given yourself permission to have a break. When we don't allow ourselves to have a break, we stop observing life and all its beauty, and instead we start absorbing the negative energy of others. Even the negative energy of our own limited thinking. So now that you've taken that rest, you've given yourself that permission, you've allowed yourself to put that backpack down, and now you've picked it back up again, realizing it's not that heavy. You take another step, and another, and another. And before you know it, you're at the top of that mountain, your mountain that you've climbed in whatever area of your life, because you've done the discipline, you've taken the practical steps, and you simply kept going. Now look around you, look at the reward. Absorb that reward. It is yours, you've earned it. You have a right to it, you are entitled, for you have done the work. So allow yourself to just sit in that vista of beauty. Pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Really enjoy the hard yards that you've taken, because you kept going. And the rewards are obvious and abundant. So from this beautiful mountaintop, your own personal mountain victory, whether you're sitting enjoying the view or standing, it doesn't matter. I want you to bring yourself back with that amazing image in your mind and know what you need to do to reach your next destination. So take a few breaths and bring yourself back to the here and now with that wonderful image in mind to spur you on to just keep going. Om